I'm recording my audio into this thing, and I didn't bring my mic stand because it was cumbersome. And now I'm realizing that having one hand dedicated to this kind of fucking cumbersome. So I made a big mistake. So off the air, we were talking about how you have just a beautiful backdrop of awesomeness. Am I seeing a Michelangelo or is that a Raphael? I mean, Jesus.
Let's see.
Please don't ever share your address online publicly because I could just imagine a bunch of man children like me just coming and pilfering everything. Beautiful.
That makes Michelangelo, a bunch of other things. Go. Oh, there you go. You're like,
there we go, dude. The Green Ranger. Da, 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 da.
Oh my God.
One of the first lead guitar lines I ever learned back in high school. Jason David Frank himself.
Bitch. There you go. Boom.
Awesome.
Yes.
Do you get mad when cool antiquities like that get re-released? Because apparently, like, Target is redoing all those, and I'm like, no. I maintained my original version. You can't let these poseurs have that.
It's to stoke the nostalgia flames,
right?
Just in case, Hey, I can take this out. Here you go. There we go.
What the fuck? That is awesome.
So I got the original one I got rid of for whatever reason, and then I found it in a vintage shop, and I'm like, "You're mine."
There we go. Do you ever watch like the original like Japanese versions where they're like brothers and there's all this kind of stuff? Because the Green Ranger died after like 4 episodes, and in America we're just keep finding a way. We're gonna put him in a room with Goldar and film it in North America because we just need more Green Ranger content.
I've seen the like the clips they took from it, right?
Exactly.
From, what was it? Toys That Made Us. Have you seen the Toys That Made Us on Netflix?
It's a great fucking documentary series, right?
Yeah.
I can thank that show because I'm a huge Skeletor fan. Could not give a fuck less about He-Man, but my daughter is now obsessed with Skeletor because of that show. Oh, by the power of Grayskull.
Yes, dude.
I've kind of put the cart in front of the horse. I don't know how I'm going to intro this actual interview when it happens, so I'm just going to say I'm on with Davey Calabrese, a guy whose career I followed for, no joke, 15 years of my life, which is pretty amazing. That's like half of my life has been spent listening to you and your brothers play music, which is exciting.
Thank you.
And so when you guys started the band, you were about the age I was when I found your band. So as much of your life has been in this band, has been my experience listening to it. What's it like having half of your life be this awesome adventure?
Exactly. It's an adventure. You never know where you're going to find yourself here. What's this called? Slashing Podcast?
Slashers Podcast, yeah.
I'm on the Slashing Podcast right now. Hell yeah. And, and then, I don't know. How old are you? 88?
87. So, yeah.
7. So, I am 1 year younger than you. There you go.
Oh, man. So, now I'm the old hoagie in this interview. This is bullshit.
I'm still pretty young. Yeah. But, yeah, to give you a straightforward answer, yeah, it's fun. An adventure.
Yeah.
Just like that. Never know.
One of the things I have to say I love about your band, and I don't know if this is a conscious effort from you or if you guys ever like sit and have a powwow and discuss this, you toe the line of being like really cool and authentic, but making sure you're never hokey. And what I mean by that is like, think about Danzig, right? Danzig's the butt of like every joke because at a certain point, the mesh shirt in your 50s is a little bit hokey. Is that a conscious effort from you to not be that guy? Or is it just you guys are just naturally awesome?
Well, let's see. Yeah, because there is definitely a fine line between cheesy and there's, what do I like to call it? There's like cheesy cool.
Yeah.
And then there's cheesy, which is like cringe.
Yeah, right? Like that kind of cool kitschy period, but then at a certain point, people who are like, it's like almost becomes like a weird identity. Like people like, and not to speak ill of anybody, like Peter Murphy, for example, don't wear a cape during the day. It's not a cool look. you guys are not Cape Day wearers, so that's awesome.
Well, also, he's kind of, I don't know, he's kind of it's classic case of taking yourself too seriously. And if you do that, everyone can tell.
Yeah.
And if, yeah, you're walking around in a cape or, you know, he takes himself seriously. So yeah,
Right.
it comes off funny.
So now, in terms of fashion, like you guys grew up, if I'm not mistaken, Illinois, right?
Yeah, well, let's see here. Jimmy grew up in Illinois. Well, we were all born in Illinois, and then our family uprooted to Arizona. Now we're in Arizona.
Huge
And I live
culture shock.
Well, you know, classic case. The grass is greener where you make it, my friend.
There you go.
Grass is greener. And yeah, it's super cold there, super hot here. Hey, it's all good.
So my
But,
point is, like, you guys wear leather jackets like all the time. How can you do that in Arizona? I need to know your mastery because in Southern California, I can't wear a coat like that. I will literally sweat until my taint melts off of my body.
Okay, my friend. So I literally right before this, I'm like, all right, it's probably good. We're doing Zoom, so it's gonna be a video interview. So I put on the leather jacket just for you.
I appreciate that. It means a lot. Because you guys like great fashion, but then at the back of my mind, I'm always like, these poor boys got to be suffering. Like Arizona gets like, what, you have 120 this summer? Like, whoa.
Most of the time, it's just, you know, jeans and a t-shirt.
Okay.
A Calabrese t-shirt, by the way.
There we go.
Bio.
Shameless plug. I love it. Do you guys follow pro wrestling at all? Because you have such a Young Bucks vibe with the way that you do your social media and your merch. Like, when I give examples to people who ask like how to merchandise their indie art, I'm like, look at Calabrese. Like it's all there. It's like a great template. Like I just copy and paste you into my daily life.
Thank you. Yeah, well, yes. Speaking of here, I what we got? Where is he? Can you see him?
I see Gizmo. I see a shrunken head.
That is.
Oh, that's Macho.
Macho Man, yeah, Randy Savage. There you go. Yeah, we grew up on when the WWE used to be WWF, and you know Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
and from Hulk Hogan to The Rock. That's like the era.
That's a
Hulk
good
Hogan,
era.
Rock, and Stone Cold. Those are my three favorites. Dude, I used to not like The Rock because he kind of, you know, he was like a heel, you know, like Dwayne Johnson. But he won everybody over, and he did the eyebrow.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, okay,
dude, he was a good heel too. Nation of Domination, like he pissed people off.
Yeah, dude. So just watching that, you know, screaming into the mics, and we would play wrestle, you know, do it like I'm gonna beat you up, stuff like that, and made up our own wrestling move called the Peanut Butter Crunch. Would you like me to?
Of course, I need to know. The people want answers.
Okay. So the Peanut Butter Crunch is you knock the guy on the floor, or the woman, floor.
Equal opportunity.
That's right. And you grab both legs, and you take your leg, and you just crunch.
Oh, wow!
Peanut Butter Crunch.
Right on. Right in the old ovary sac, right?
That's right. Also, during this time, we were eating a lot of Peanut Butter Crunch, and it was just on our mind.
So I have to ask, the whole idea of you standing on your drum kit, is that at least somewhat the showmanship of pro wrestling bleeding through?
Whoa, dude. All right. No one ever mentioned that. That connection. I like that. That must be, yeah, getting on top of the ropes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. To tell you what, like an old school fan of y'all I'm a Blogspot guy. I used to follow those. So when I got to, you know, read about how you like developed that, and like I read online, maybe right, that you had practiced it only twice before doing it on stage. That's fucking terrifying to me because like the margin of error is super slim. Because if you take a header over your drums, that is a meme forever.
The key is to not fall.
There you go. Great advice. It applies to many things in life. Just don't fall.
So when I'm up there, so everything seems so hyper like fast when you're up there, but I know it's actually a lot, or it's slower up there.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels like slow. So what am I trying to say? Basically, when I get up on the drums, I like soak it in. I'm like, soak it in. I say, yeah.
Just like
And,
The Rock in the beginning of his theme song, where he puts his arm up and just smells what he's cooking, right?
You just gotta let it breathe, scream it out to everybody,
Yeah.
and then look around. All right, I'm standing good. All right, there's my symbol, and jump.
There you go. So going
But
back
yeah,
to like
man.
merch and stuff, we were talking. I mean, you guys peddle your merch perfectly. I think it's never too like carny huckster stuff. But one thing that blows my mind that I've recently discovered is that there is merch piracy now. Like we've dealt with music piracy since Napster, but people are fucking stealing T-shirt designs and selling it from China, like AliExpress and Wish. Have you guys had any of that bullshit yet?
Yeah, yes.
Wow.
And what happened? It was somebody. All right, maybe you would recognize this. Did you know about here? Actually, let me. All right, let me get out one of these so I could set this up.
Okay.
Stable. There we go. Ooh,
Perfect.
much better.
I like how stable it is. I feel like I just got off of a boat and I'm on dry land again.
Yeah. Let's see. My arm is getting a little tired. I'm like, oh, I should have had this up. What am I trying to say? Piracy. All right, that'll do.
Perfect.
I'm kneeling. So.
There we go.
Amen.
At the altar of Slashers podcast, right?
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so the story is, our old T-shirt design, Saturday Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Where it's like the girl. Okay, so somebody took just the art and printed it and just wrote zombies on the bottom. And
what?
And we didn't know about it till a buddy of ours found it at a gas station in America. He bought it and showed us because he thought it was silly. But like, what indeed?
How crazy.
Like, what is it? Come on.
It blows my mind because like, you think back, like I see Elvis in the background, like explaining music piracy to Elvis. I mean, they used to like wax press vinyl to steal music then. And it's like, there's always going to be a way to get like the product for free, which like has to hurt your soul. Like that's your commodity, right? Like is your essence.
Yeah, it's pretty bogus. But the flip side is somebody liked our design enough to steal it. So
that is a good point. That's valid.
Good taste. All right.
Yeah. So I noticed back in the day, I had read some articles, as far as you talking about your love of horror. And you had mentioned kind of maybe getting a little bit of that from your brothers. But reading between the lines, it seems like you're a monster movie guy. Am I right?
My favorite type of monster movie is a horror comedy.
Yes.
I like a good laugh. So my tippity top is Army of Darkness.
We just covered that. Great show. Great movie.
Yeah, Bruce Campbell rules. Like anything that guy touches.
I assume you've seen Bubba Hotep, right?
I have seen. I've seen that a while ago. But yeah, he was Elvis.
Exactly. So good. It's like all the things that you love combined, right?
Yeah. But the most recent thing besides Army of Darkness was Ash vs. Evil Dead. Ooh.
Yeah. Great show.
Dude, have you?
Yeah. People have been like unfairly shitting on that show. And I'm like, with the budget that it had, the fact that it exists at all is a fucking gift.
excuse me, shitting on Ash vs. Evil Dead. Rude.
Yeah. Perfect. So, in terms of just the media you consume in your daily life, is there anything that you think you draw inspiration from, aside obviously from The Rock, in your musicianship?
Well, let's see. Always Big D, aka Danzig.
There you go.
Misfits, same Danzig.
My holy
What
trinity,
else?
I'll say.
Yeah, yes. Rob Zombie's always good, aka also White Zombie, Type of Negative, AFI.
I was going to say, your brother looks like Peter Steele. People say that all the time, I assume.
Only when he got his hair really long.
Gotcha, yeah.
The longest it got was, what's it? The Darkest Who I Am / Stripped into Dust. Yeah, that was the longest he got. And so, like, we filmed it, and he's like, okay, we got it on camera. Now I can chop it off. He chopped it off, dude.
Good for him.
Because, like you said, it's fucking hot here.
Dude, nuts. I had long black hair for a short time, and then thank God Davey Havoc did the December Underground and cut half of it off. And I'm like, oh, I can do that too. And then like 3 days later, I was like, you know what? Let's just fucking do the whole thing. But yeah.
How long did you have it?
Shoulder length. You know, because I had been in like little bullshit metal bands and stuff at the time. And, you know, I was trying to be more metal. And it was like, I just looked, you know, have you ever read the comic Nothing Nice to Say?
No.
There's an old great one where it's two guys in a car and it's like, hey, you know, the lead singer of AFI is pretty hot for a goth chick. And I was like, I was that same goth chick. I had the long hair and the painted nails. And then I just completely sold out, which is bullshit. But my hair was so hot. I was like, how do people look good doing this? I'm just like sweating and like it'd be puffy and ugh.
I think the key is when you go out, it's kind of like having a t-shirt, which could be a man bun or you just tie it up.
There you go.
And then if you're going out to dress to impress, you got your collared shirt, your leather jacket, boom, bring the hair down.
There
you got what he does. But Bobby, so he cut it off and then he had a pump for a while. Now it's back down. So
getting back to the typo negative. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you had mentioned your love of Danzig and everything. Did you ever think in your lifetime you'd see him share a stage with Jerry Only again?
Did I? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You know, he'd be a fool. Danzig, I'm speaking right to Danzig. Danzig, you're watching this, you're listening to this.
He's a diehard fan.
Yes, you would be a fool not to just keep doing that. Just do that.
Well, because I'll tell you, when he did the Misfits sets with Doyle, I never missed a single one in California. And it was just like the turnout was amazing. I remember seeing the Gibson Amphitheater. I mean, like the walls were fucking sweating, and it was this huge palatial venue because that's how many people were pressed in there to see. And it's like, why would you not? Unless you're Morrissey's the one guy who gets like an out for never forming the Smiths because it's prissy Morrissey, and if he wasn't that way, it wouldn't be true to his character. But with Danzig and the way he's marketed himself, it would be so disingenuous not to make that money, right?
Well, like, oh man, like, just do a fucking stadium tour. And if they have it in them to do another Misfits album or Danzig singing, all right. But don't force it. But just do the tours.
Do you have any idea how much money I would straight up pay to have Famous Monsters re-recorded by Danzig? Especially now that Michael Graves is a Proud Boy and I can't deal with that anymore?
Well, who wrote that? Oh, Michael probably wrote that.
It's my understanding that it was Dr. Chud and Jerry who wrote all of the music. And I don't think that Michael wrote his own lyrics from what I understand, which one of the conflicts they had when he left and then came back. But I might be wrong.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Danzig all the way, baby.
Yeah, for sure.
See, here's the funny thing. All right, we'll talk about this. So here's the funny thing. So people would compare us to the Misfits, and we're just taking a syringe from Danzig's Misfits. Like we're just gonna rip this off. But I think a good portion, maybe 40% of the people think that we're ripping off the Michael Misfits. But no,
Yeah,
maybe here or there. Famous Monsters, yeah, it was really good.
it's a killer record.
But it was yeah. But it was that's always the freaking Danzig. You know, Danzig all the way. But oh well. Perceptions, am I right?
Yeah, well, like what I've talked about with your band is, it's a spritz of like your Mad Sin or your Tiger Army, and it's AFI if they had continued being Danzig-esque. Because I think that your song construction and everything is great, your anthemic vocals, but then it kind of goes back to the not being hokey is you're never like too derivative either. Where I'm not like, oh shit, I've seen Nick 13 do this. It's never just that. It's always like, this is uniquely Calabrese that happens to also fill these boxes. If I'm not being too gracious and trying to gargle your nuts in my mouth.
No, I love that. It's yeah. We love Tiger Army, AFI, and stuff like that. So it's really great to hear that.
And so
Yeah.
you started off with an EP. And I think that the extended play it pisses me off that it's not more popular now. Because now you have like singles, I guess, through Spotify and all that bullshit. But do you think that the EP is like a lost art? Like making a miniature album, like your All Hollows, or in your case, the Midnight Spooky EP, or Spooky Show EP. Sorry. Spook Show. I'm screwing it up.
Oh, my friend. So funny you should mention that. For a couple years now, Bobby's like, let's just do an EP. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. And I'm just like, I don't know. Why can't we just, if we're gonna do 5 songs, why don't we just do 5 more and then we got an album? But I think EPs are becoming more prevalent in the digital age. So like it's better to have like for instance, it'll take a little bit longer and more money to record an album than it would be an EP. So you could get it sooner. So where's one of these? So there you go. So to bring it up to a point, there's a good chance the next musical item will be in that. Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Little mini album, yeah.
Because it's always sad when you take the single and it's just part of the CD. Because it's like, well, then I'm not going to buy that because I'm just going to buy the CD. But like, you have that, the small version. It's just, do you like horror shorts at all? Like short movies, like 10, 15-minute horror movies?
Well, yeah. I watch a lot of YouTube.
Which is like perfect, right? Because you can get it, you get in, get out, and just over with versus dedicating like 2 hours. Because like, let me tell you, if I watch a 10-minute short and it's not that great, I'm not going to be pissed. If I watch an hour and a half movie and it's not good, dude, I'm looking for fools to swing on. It's ridiculous.
Oh, man. Oh, dude. Oh, my God. So what I'm watching right now at this moment.
Okay.
Have you seen New Girl?
No, I have not. Oh, the Zoe Deschanel show?
Yeah.
My wife watches that. I've watched like 2 or 3 episodes. I like the guy who is very effeminate but is distinctly not gay because it makes me very happy because I love to watch people talk about him when they're like, it's awesome just to see them try and navigate political correctness around a guy who's just a person.
Yeah. Schmidt, I think you're referring to.
There we go.
I absolutely love Schmidt.
Great character.
Schmidt, get out.
Yeah, there you go. And rhyming with Schmidt is shit, like Schitt's Creek. David Rose, have you seen this character?
Okay, all right. So the show before I watched New Girl, like heavily watched, was oh God, The Good Place. Have you seen that?
Oh, magnificent show.
Okay, so you know what I'm like, I love this. I just watched it really quick. I'm like, I want something like this. So then I found my way to Schitt's Creek. I wasn't wowed, my guy. I was not wowed. What? I tried it. I know. I gave it like You give it like 4 to 5 episodes. I gave it a chance.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't giving me lulls. I wasn't laughing out loud.
Okay, I think that's fair. It's very much the style of the typical Eugene Levy, where it's like, this is kind of your heady, best in show humor. It's not your overt kind of like yucks. But what's so funny, I mean, because you're in showbiz and I live in California, I have met these people so many times that to be able to laugh at them is so fun, because these like the pompous, hoity-toity people being brought down, I'm like, yes, now you're poor too, just like I was. Mwah.
well, looks like you're doing pretty good, my guy. Look at that room.
Oh yeah, I guess this is my. I'm the guy who constantly talks about how much he doesn't like Star Wars, and yet I have a Star Wars print. This is my first appearance of Bullseye and Daredevil, which was a gift from my wedding. And so this is my real business where I work in a law office, and it's great because I never have to have clients here, so I can be a man-child. Like one day I too shall have a Megazord here, and I will name it Bobby, Davey, and Jimmy, and they'll just be sitting here, and they'll watch me work as I whittle away what my remaining years I have left on a keyboard.
Well, hey, meta world, meta.
Ooh, I like this.
Hey, this podcast could take off.
I'd be happy with that. If I could get a 401k out of this motherfucker, I'd be set, dog.
Just keep going.
Yeah. So I guess kind of one last thing. I said I'd keep you 20 minutes or less, and I've already lied to you. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I saw recently, are you teaching your daughter to play the drums? Is that what I'm seeing? Is that the coolest thing in the world?
You're referring to my nephew, Henry.
Oh, no.
I do have nieces, though.
Okay.
So I have 2 nieces. Whoops. Those are Jim's kids. And then I have a nephew, which is my sister's kid. And he just jumped on him, and he was just like, boop, bop, beep, boop, boop, bop. And I went over there and just posed with him.
Gotcha.
While he was, he really wanted to, boop. He was doing it, dude.
Yeah?
No, I didn't even show him how to do it. He was just like, boom, bop, boom, boom, bop, boom.
So you can just hand it down like a family business. Like some people are plumbers, some are butchers, and some are punk rockers.
Oh, dude, and he loves you'll love this. He loves skeletons.
Yes.
So there's that. He's in.
Perfect. That's your, like, if I'm looking at a resume and I'm the hiring guy for your band, I'm like, yeah, this checks out. You can bink, bop, and boop, and you like skeletons. Welcome aboard.
That was funny, dude.
All right, so in quarantine world, how can my meager audience find and support you in your endeavors, since shows really aren't showing at this point?
Okay, all right. Let me think about it. Well, you could find us at Calabrese 666 everywhere. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
Yes.
You could buy that merch.
Look at that shirt, dude.
At CalabriseStore.com. And, okay, my guy. Actually, here's super meta. So, like, maybe 30 minutes from now, I'm going to tease the next T-shirt drop.
Ooh.
I'll show you a little bit because you're here.
Okay. I like what I'm seeing. I like this. It's sexy. Ooh. How did you know I've been watching anime for the first time in my 30s? This is exciting.
Because everybody is.
Yeah, right? I've run out of American cartoons. They make me sad. The Asian ones, I'm like, oh, this is cool. There's a little slime creature that's singing.
Dude, Cowboy Bebop, have you?
Oh, of course. Yes. Very good. I actually just ranted on an episode where I reviewed the All Hallows EP from AFI, how years ago I had seen the Van Helsing AFV, where it was the anime music video for Halloween, their version, not the Misfits version, and how I'm still afraid to watch Van Helsing because I'm just worried it will suck, because I've built it up in my mind as this beautiful thing where some fangy-toothed vampire blows up zombies with a gun.
Have I seen that one? Where's that Vampire D?
We covered that on the show where his hand talks to him and eats dirt. I don't understand that at all, but I love it.
That's a good thought process. I don't understand it, but I love it.
Exactly. That's one of the things I think sets me apart from a lot of. I just love people being enthusiastic about shit. Like you could be talking about whatever, and just so long as you're like passionate about it, I'm into it. And like anime is a great treasure trove for that. Because I had a friend recently talk about One Piece. And he's like, "You got to watch this show," and I'm like, "No." The idea of watching a show that's been around for 20 years gives me legitimate anxiety. And he's like, "No, but the guy eats the fruit and his bones turn into jelly and blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, literally. Aside from the word fruit, I have no idea what you just said, but I love how excited you are.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time. I sincerely appreciate it. I'll make sure to include links to everything that you have in the description. And salutations and good day.
Bye, dog.